So in the past couple of years, we've really seen a gap grow between housing and condo prices, right? So is that going to continue? What the heck is happening with condo markets? Let's talk about that in this video.
Let's find out. So what has been going on with condos?
That's a great question. So it's been an interesting ride for condos in the past couple of years. So in November of 2020, it was interesting because people would say, is now a good time to buy? And I'm like, now is the best time ever to buy a condo. And sure enough, condo prices went down. And then in that November, they really started to skyrocket from there. So, they've been up kind of year over year. But that gap has still grown, right? Because the problem in the city of Toronto is we're not making any more houses, but we are making more condos. So, you'll tend to get that gap. And what happened before, I guess, was when the gap got narrow enough, people would be like, well, I'm going to pay $900,000 for a 2-bedroom condo. I could buy a house for $1.1 million. If you have the resources, you're probably going to buy a house, right? Everybody knows the story, and what happened in the last few years is people moved out of the city. Some people, not everybody. And, typically there was like a 70% price differential between downtown condos and 905 condos. And, in the past couple of years, that gap has actually closed to 30%, and what, we're thinking is that gap will then increase again over the next few years.
Yeah, we expect the gap to get a lot bigger. It's probably not going to return fully to that 70%, but we definitely expect an increase there. So as people come back to the core, due to jobs returning to the office, due to immigration, students returning to the city, and even gas prices pushing people back to the downtown core, we think we're going to see that gap again grow between the two areas, and the downtown condos are going to get a lot more expensive.
Will this rest continue? And what's happening in condo prices right now?
Right. So we have seen the market slow down across the board, but we expect condo prices to continue to rise, or at least remain more stable compared to housing.
Right.
Because condos are going to become a more affordable location for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's especially true for resale condos, because pre-construction is now becoming a less viable option.
Unaffordable, or teeny tiny shoeboxes.
Exactly. Yeah, pre-construction, in order to keep the same cost, has started to shrink the size of the apartment. Well, pre-construction costs have risen to about $1,400 a square foot, $1,381.
Yeah.
And that is just a very expensive compared to resale, when a lot of resale is still very high quality or relatively new.
It's still trading, $1,000, some below $1,000 a square foot, right?
Exactly. And so with those rising construction costs, we will see less completed pre-construction.
Cancellations? Are you saying cancellations?
I am saying cancellations.
Uh-oh.
We're expecting up to 5% cancellations when it comes to projects like that, which even further narrows the supply of new units, meaning we're going to have to rely on what's already there.
Yeah.
So, in the short term, where there's still a bit of fear and uncertainty in the market, we think that perhaps the condo market will slow, just like the housing market. But we do see a big boom coming when these supply issues start to hit and buyers become more comfortable with what's going on.
Yeah, when the fear recedes, I guess. Right?
Exactly.
People are going to be back in. And there's going to be no pre-construction condos to buy, because the developers are focusing on closing the ones they have versus launching new projects. Construction costs on new developments is rising and rising quickly, over 21%, rising faster than prices. And that's been very tough for developers, and that's why they're probably going to cancel some projects, because they've sold them for less than what it's going to cost to build them, right? They need to sell above $1,000 a square foot now just to break even. Is it a good time to buy a condo, or what?
We think it is a good time to buy a condo. We're entering somewhat of a buyer's market right now, so you could get a favorable price with good conditions on an offer.
That's amazing.
And we also think buying in the 416 is always going to be a safe bet. There's
Yep.
Like we said, limited supply here. It's this.
People are moving back here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we think, now is a good time to buy while there's a little bit of fear and confusion in the market.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a nice price for your condo.
Yeah. Well, and that gap will close again.
Exactly.
Between houses and condos, right? Just because, like you said, there's nothing else you can afford to buy, right? Houses are not cheap anymore in the city. Not that they have been for a while.
And when that potential rush comes back again to buy those condos, we don't know if it's going to be this fall or next year. It really depends on a lot of things, but we think it's coming.
It's coming.
And when that comes, you'll be glad that you bought a condo sooner rather than later. So Paul, is it a good time to sell your condo?
That's a great question, Ben. And what we say is, listen, if you don't have to sell, I would personally wait, right? We would say maybe just wait a little bit and see what happens in the market. Wait till the buyers sort of lose that fear and they come back and they decide they're ready to buy. But, if you're upsizing, it actually might be a good time to sell because the property you're buying is percentage-wise a lot less than the property you're selling. So it might be a good time to upsize. You always want to upsize in a down market. So we hope you found that hugely helpful. If you want help deciding if now is the right time for you to buy or sell, shoot us an email, info@thinktio.ca. If you like this video, please like it and smash that subscribe button so you get updated with great content each and every week. Talk soon.
Talk soon.